This song's called Brother. It's on my next album coming out in June called Carson City.
Everybody's going to the May Day parade. I just wanna know, do you remember the day? We found the cat in the road, all splayed out on its legs. I just didn't know what to say. You had tears rolling down your face. Brother of mine, brother of mine. Laying there alone, all in our separate beds. Come on over, boy, and rest your weary head. There was nothing I could have said. How could I have known she was dead? Brother of mine, brother of mine. Remember the day we went down to the creek bed? Was up to my knees in mud, you gotten too far ahead. There was no one else around. You came and helped me up from down. Brother of mine, brother of mine. There was nothing I could have said. How could I have known she was dead? There was no one else around. You came and helped me up and down. Brother of mine, brother of mine. Brother of mine, brother of mine.
Go ahead.
You've released music under the name South of Lincoln and now Great American Desert, but you've never been under your own name. Can you talk about the significance of the different names and maybe why you changed them? And does not using your own name allow for a certain distance and freedom?
So I started South of Lincoln in like 2005. It was the solo project I was doing kind of before I really got into folk music, and I was playing a very different style of music. And that name came from, I grew up in a small town southeast of Lincoln. I was very obsessed with place and home, and I mean my first album was called Homes. I I moved a lot after I graduated high school. Just in Lincoln, house to house to house, and every single one of them I kind of felt at home. And so that's sort of where that first name came from. And then I moved to Omaha, which is about an hour away from Lincoln, probably in September of this last September. And, I was starting to write new music for this new album and getting ready to record it. And I started thinking, I've changed a lot. My music has changed. I've moved to a different city. Just a lot of things were different for me, and I wanted to make a distinct break from that project and this project. And while a lot of times I'll play stuff from the South of Lincoln catalog, I like Great American Desert, and it's actually the Great American Desert now. I'd add the to the beginning because there's another Great American Desert, and he very politely asked me if I would add the. So
you should add the.
If he's watching,
you can do it.
I'm just going to add it. It's not going to look as great. There we go. So that way I don't get sued. But anyway, and the story behind that is the Great Plains, when they were first being explored, they called it the Great American Desert. They wrote these letters back saying, it's a barren, desolate land. It's the Great American Desert. And they thought there was nothing there. There was no reason to go back. There was no reason to settle it. And then they found out about the Ogallala Aquifer, just this great, expanse of water that's underneath the land that has allowed farming and, growth there. And, in some ways I look at sort of Nebraska in that way culturally. A lot of people outside of Nebraska look at it probably a lot of, the same way as a lot of other Midwestern states. Like, it's that really boring drive between Chicago and Denver, or, where Austin and Minneapolis, people have to pass through there or fly over it. And it's so boring. But they don't, most of those people just stay on the interstate. They don't branch off. They don't reach out. They don't explore what's there. And there's this great expanse of culture and art and history and stories and amazing people with just amazing stories to tell that you can learn so much from. And I feel like that's kind of what Nebraska, it's a Great American Desert in that way too. At first glance, it's sort of this desolate, flat, boring place. Just like my hometown, when I go back there and I appreciate it much more than I used to, because there's a lot of beauty there, quiet, calm. So that's that name. And then as far as using my own name, I've always wanted to leave open the possibility of, having a band behind me someday or whatever, if that's the direction I go. And I do kind of like having a bit of a distance between myself and the music I play and sort of the character that I am on stage, because all these stories are being told from a point of view, from a perspective by a character who isn't me. Most of these stories are a mixture of real stories I've heard and fiction for the sake of what words sound best in the song. So that's sort of why I try and keep that distance between myself and the music by not using my own name.